I saw a crack appear on the wall, and blood seeping out from it. I was terrified. I hurriedly checked the floor plan, and discovered the window of the adjacent room was only 3 meters away from mine. I immediately climbed out the window. But strangely, after groping along the exterior wall for a long time, the neighbor's window never appeared. I looked up, and only then realized the neighbor's window had vanished. I had no choice but to retrace my steps. But the moment I stepped back inside, the window slammed shut on its own. When I looked at the floor plan again, all the surrounding rooms had vanished in an eerie way. Then I peered through the peephole, only to find the door sealed shut by a wall. Just then, the lights began flickering incessantly. The window too had been sealed by a wall. I was utterly panicked. I rushed into the bedroom, only to discover that the balcony here had also sprouted a wall out of nowhere. What's worse, the temperature in the room keeps dropping. I hurriedly put on my coat and pulled out my phone to contact the outside world, only to find there was no signal at all. Fortunately, the computer connected to the hotel's Wi-Fi. I immediately video called my wife, told her everything that had happened, and told her to call the police right away. But just then, the drain valve suddenly opened. Water flooded the computer, and it malfunctioned. My last hope was shattered. In desperation, I could only pull out that Bible and pray to God to let me escape this place. But unexpectedly, when I opened the Bible, it had turned completely blank. Before long, the entire room was blanketed in frost. I could only wrap myself tighter in the quilt and light a fire for warmth. Just then, the computer suddenly beeped and found my wife was still there. She told me the police were in room 8 and hadn't found me. At that moment, I knew I might truly be trapped. Then I said my final goodbyes to my wife, but she insisted I must hold on, saying she'd make it to the hotel soon. Fearing she might be trapped here too, I told her not to come. But just then, the me on the screen began acting out of control, constantly tempting my wife to come to room 8. Before the call ended, he flashed a taunting grin.
I suddenly came upon a dead whale. Realizing danger might lurk nearby, I quickly turned to head back. Just then, a massive wave crashed over me, sending me flying. I sank straight to the ocean floor. I struggled desperately to swim back to the surface. Toe grabbed the surfboard, but a shark attacked me, dragging me underwater. Blood instantly stained the sea red. I fought with all my might, and finally shook off the shark. Then I swam swiftly toward the whale. With blood pouring from my thigh, I could only give the wound a quick bandage. Just then, I spotted 2 people on the shore, but no matter how desperately I shouted for help, I couldn't get their attention. At that very moment, the whale's carcass suddenly stirred. It was the shark launching another attack. Then I noticed a reef not far away, and just as the shark charged toward me, I plunged into the sea at once. The whale's carcass was knocked over by the impact. I swam frantically toward the reef, and finally managed to escape the shark's pursuit. But sharks lurk in the waters near me. The immediate priority is to stop the bleeding. I removed my earring and bandaged the wound, enduring the pain. Then I took off my clothes to wrap the wound. After doing all this, I could only conserve my strength and wait for rescue. Night fell quickly.